beautiful jam.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was
It
really good.
is. Hello, everybody. Buenas tardes. I was gonna say good morning. Good morning in the afternoon. Thank you so much again. Thanks everybody for watching us one more time here with the Chamber Chat, and we have a really special guest here with me. Where my coworker Kiana Yamara, and she's gonna introduce our special guest in a little bit, and they're celebrating something special. And I keep saying special part because it is a special. And we're going to talk a little bit about it too. So, Kiana, how are you today?
Yes, good. How are you?
Doing good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm very honored and very excited that the Hispano Chamber is going to partner with Joe here to my right, Joe Long, for the New Mexico Magazine.
Woo!
So I'm very excited that we have an honor to celebrate this special event by the end of this month. Joe,
Yeah.
how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing terrific. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank
Like I
you for
said
coming
earlier,
in.
it's always a pleasure to come here. You guys have so much energy. It's awesome.
Good.
Thank
Well, I'm very glad that you came in person. I'm just glad that we are done with the pandemic and we
Yeah.
actually are doing live events. It's something different. I know there was a lot of people that tried to do Zoom meetings and just had that Zoom interaction, and it was just never the same.
It's
So
not the same at
I'm
all.
just happy that we're done with all of that and we have this chance to just do these in person too.
Yeah, awesome.
So Daniel, you kind of want to introduce what we have coming up?
Yes, ma'am. Whatever you say. No, yes. Actually, we have something. This event, or Biz Gratis that we do, or monthly Biz Gratis networking event that we do, we are gonna do it again. It is a very special one because we are celebrating actually two different anniversaries. But
Right.
the big one that we're celebrating, actually, it is 100 years for the New Mexico magazine.
That's right.
That's so awesome. 100
right.
years.
So we're celebrating all year. We started in July of 22, celebrating all the way to July of 23, which is actually the 100th issue,
Wow.
100th anniversary issue.
Wow.
So that's a big special event for us. We've got a lot of things planned this year, but the Biz Gratis is kind of the kickoff to the public, if you will, for this event.
Yeah. So we're doing, and again, I say two anniversaries because we're partnering with another member of the community to
Correct.
another local business that's going alive and really involved with the community as well. We're partnering with.
Bosque Brewing Company,
Who doesn't like that?
right?
Oh, getting thirsty now. I'm getting thirsty now.
Yeah, so we actually are partnering with one of the new locations on Eubank. We had a lovely pleasure to actually have one of our lunch meetings there to check out. So the facility is awesome. I mean, Bosque has a beautiful buildings. They built a couple actually just from the floor ground up.
Yeah.
One being was one of my favorite ones is in Bernalillo. That's one of the biggest ones. But
Absolutely.
I'm just happy to see that Bosque has bloomed to almost 10, I think, locations. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I'm not wrong going live right now, but 10 locations around the city. I mean, or even out of the state here in New Mexico. And they're just a big, great community outreach. And that's actually some connection that you had publicly, correct?
That's correct. Bosque Brewing is a great partner for us because they value New Mexico. I mean,
Right.
everything they do is New Mexico true, if you will. To steal from our tagline.
Right, right.
But they're New Mexico born and bred, and they just
Right.
so they're a great partner with us. We do a lot with them, and we're excited that they're willing to host this for us.
So what
That's
is
awesome.
Bosque celebrating?
And Bosque is celebrating their 10th anniversary.
Yes.
So
Yeah, so again, it's gonna be an exciting Biz Gratis. It's gonna be Bosque celebrating 10 years and New Mexico Magazine celebrating 100 years. 100 años.
Yeah.
Wow.
100 years is a long time for a print publication, and New Mexico Magazine is very ingrained in our culture. People move away. I hear this all the time. People move away, and the first thing they do is subscribe to New Mexico Magazine.
Right.
Same thing when they move away.
Mhm.
So we're very, very healthy and blessed in that way that it's still relevant. It just brings out the culture of our state.
Right. So, and Joe, can you kind of explain where New Mexico Magazine started, or what department? Where is it out of? Because I think a lot of people don't really know. So, if you can explain or elaborate how it all started, or and how where we're at.
It started out of the Department of Transportation as a travel journal, um, and at some point became part of the tourism department. So we are very much a travel magazine, but we also incorporate lifestyle.
That's awesome.
So half or more of our readership is out of state, for people who don't live here but love New Mexico or are planning to retire and come to New Mexico. So
That sounds cool.
Yeah, and that's something I was talking about. Well, I was mentioning today right before we started that I always thought that New Mexico the magazine was a private company,
right,
but it's actually from the state of New Mexico.
it is part of the Department of Tourism. We're what you call an enterprise fund.
Mhm.
So we're self-sustaining. We have to
Keep growing.
keep
growing
going.
the budget.
Right. I mean,
Right.
we don't get funds directly from. We're not
Correct.
funded from state
Correct.
from taxpayers. So we're enterprise fund self-funded.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Well, I didn't know that a lot of people actually subscribe, even out of state of people. So that's kind of cool
Big
that a
deal.
lot of people love the culture. I mean, I believe we do take advantage of what we have here.
Yeah.
I'm born and raised here. So unfortunately, hearing a lot of these things that we have, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm horrible. I'm a home resident and I don't even know half of this stuff. So
Oh, it's amazing.
it
I mean,
is.
so our audience is the obvious Arizona, Colorado,
Right.
neighboring states, Texas, but we get quite a bit of interest from Southern California. In
Oh,
fact,
I
that's
can
a
believe that.
growing interest. So, and then that's the other point you made is there's so much in New Mexico that as lifetime residents,
Mhm.
you don't even know.
Yes.
So that's what
Right. Yes.
it's good for everybody.
I have a friend. That's what she does through her work. She's a partner of the chamber too, but she's like really outdoorsy, and she goes and posts and everything about outdoors in Mexico, trails, hikes. I mean, lakes, all
Yeah.
this, and it's like, how do you find out about it? And she's like, half of the time, oh, somebody else told me. Or
Mhm.
half of the time, oh, at the New Mexico magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, at
Yeah.
the magazine. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, like
That's
Ken was
good.
saying, there's so much that our state has to offer.
Yeah.
Like you were mentioning, is not only
That's
the
undiscovered from residents,
That's
Yes.
lifelong
true.
residents.
yes, and you guys have a tagline that I like a lot. It says "Adventure that feeds the soul."
Right.
That is awesome,
Right. Right.
and
Right.
that is true. That is true here in New Mexico.
So just plugging things to do. We have a weekly newsletter. In the newsletter, we always feature certain articles. Food, as you can imagine, is very much one of our
I'm a big foodie.
biggest read
Cheers.
articles. But in that weekly newsletter, we have 5 things to do this weekend.
Oh.
So it's throughout the state, usually just things to do. So
Yeah. So again, like our manager Joe, he always say, people say that there's nothing to do in New Mexico. There
Mhm.
is a lot to do, a lot of things to do for all kinds of people. All kinds of
absolutely,
people.
absolutely,
Yes. And also, you guys have a couple of initiatives too coming in, right?
very true. We have New Mexico True Heroes. This is our 3rd annual. We've It's about a 9-month process. We have nominations starting in March, and then we end in December. Nominations came in. We had 307 nominations this year
Wow.
from 36 different cities. And then we have a panel of judges throughout the state who judge them, judge the quality of the nominations, and then we choose 10 winners. The winners are from all over the state. It's typically volunteer philanthropy, just people who have gone above and beyond with their call of duty to make a difference in the community.
Right. So is my understanding is not only what is like part of your duty, no, it's not only part of your job,
Right.
but also too, we're talking about the average person in the community.
Right.
The teacher, the worker, the hard worker, the
Yeah.
laborer, the anyone.
Anyone.
not only the frontline responders, but anyone that is actually a true hero, people that normally doesn't get recognized
Right.
for being a hero. Now that you guys are being taking that step and
Right.
recognize those.
Like last year, we had a winner who from Silver City who took an abandoned place and just kind of made a workshop out of it and took in teenagers who didn't have anything to do and just helped them
Wow.
evolve develop skills. And it's a really tough process to choose.
It seems like a lot of the stories, though, or a lot of testimonials, people don't hear about.
That's correct.
It's kind of just these individuals that really do have the passion about something and they create something out there in the community.
Every single person I nominate is just floored that
Yeah.
they're being recognized. Like they didn't do it for any recognition. And
That's
That's the
awesome.
neat thing.
That's awesome. So yeah, it seems like the votes go for a while. It does seem like a very hard task to do because I can't imagine. I bet
Yeah.
you see a lot of great stories and a lot of great people.
We do. So when the nominations end, we do the judging process, and then quite a bit of that time is putting together the stories and the videos.
Right.
So we will go out and interview and take photos of all 10 winners. We write the stories, we do video shoots. They will be published in the December issue, but on November 17th, we will do a live Facebook event. We have 2 partners. It's the Department of Health and
Right.
KLB4.
Mhm.
KLB4 helps us produce the video that will be live video on November 17th.
Yeah, and I believe we actually are going to work with Joe on that one as well. So stay tuned with us. We will talk more about that coming soon, probably after this great special event we have with him the end of this month, October 27th. But we really do want to support the New Mexico Magazine. Again, they have a lot of great initiatives. If you guys are not aware what New Mexico has, I think this is the great plug right here. Not only with us too, we always show and represent any of our members. So one of them is him. But we will talk more about this live. We'll hopefully have it here and have a chance to show what True Heroes is, because
Right.
I don't think a lot of people even know that this happens, you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
That is an awesome initiative too, because I mean, despite I had to like say this, but all the crime and everything, that
Right.
people always talking about the crime.
Yeah.
Always talking, negative about Albuquerque, about New Mexico, about our community. I mean, yes, it is one thing, to be aware of what's going on, the reality,
Right.
but also too part of that reality are these people behind the scene
Showing the good.
showing the good
Yeah.
too. There's a lot of people. I mean, 300 some nominees.
Yeah.
Over 300 nominees that
Yeah.
are interstate, and I'm pretty sure that there are a lot more than only those.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
To nominate someone's a lot of work.
True.
So it's
because
there's a lot more than
if
300.
somebody gets nominated, I'm pretty sure that they get nominated for a pot full of other well qualified people, other heroes,
Right.
that are helping there in the community too.
Right.
So thank you for taking this initiative in highlighting the good in New Mexico,
Absolutely.
especially in a magazine too that goes to other states too. So people will recognize that from New Mexico as well. Right? Thank you so much for that.
So before we wrap up, Joe, can you kind of give us a little idea of how they can sign up for these weekly highlights that you mentioned earlier?
Sure. Go to newmexicomagazine.org. And if you don't get a pop-up, you'll just scroll down to the bottom and subscribe to newsletter.
Awesome.
Social media.
newmexicomagazine.org, social media, Facebook, Twitter,
Instagram.
Instagram.
And if all that does not work, you can always come to the chamber and you can reach out to one of us. We can definitely keep you guys in contact. But stay tuned. Like I mentioned, end of this month, October 27th, starting at 5:30, Bosque Brewing. We will be there hosting this lovely event. We'll be
It's gonna be a
celebrating.
sellout.
I cannot
Be there,
wait.
we'll be square.
Yes.
Trying to be early.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
So 5:30 it starts. And if you guys have any further questions, please get in contact with myself or Daniel or any of us here at the chamber. But again, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
being here,
Thank you.
Joe. Thank you, Daniel, for being my
Thank you, China.
co-pen. And stay tuned, guys. You guys have a great day.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
one.